The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network. Any questions or concerns about what is said should be directed to the show host, whose information will be provided upon request.
Let's talk about the positive life, the positive life, positive life. Let's talk about the positive life, the positive life, positive life. Let's talk about the positive life, the positive life, positive life.
So loud, I tell you the truth. But anyway. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome to another show of Let's Talk Positive. Say, wave it to the mama.
Hello.
Let me say my greetings to everybody, to the Nigerians, Cairo, to the Spanish, hola, to the French, bonjour, comment allez-vous? To the Indian people from the north and the south, namaste, welcome. To my Filipino friends and family, hi, como esta family. To the Koreans, annyeonghaseyo. To the Japanese, konnichiwa. To the Chinese, ni hao. To the Cantonese, ni hao. To the Guyana people from Africa, ne mawaju. To the Hawaiians, aloha. Pakistan, assalamu alaikum. Vietnamese people, xin chào. Ethiopian, Mediterranean, those who speak that language, salam and shalom. And we added the Arabic people, marhaba. The Russians, kavasabu, and all the English people all over the world. Hey, how y'all doing? What's up? The reason why we always do that is because, you know, of course, I went to school with over 90 nationalities. And because this is worldwide and you never know who is seeing it. Plus, there are Christians all over the world. So it just makes sense to me to at least acknowledge them, you know, as much as I possibly can, right? I can't acknowledge everybody, obviously, because I'll be here all day long. It'll take the whole hour just to acknowledge the people. Anyway, last week, man, we had a special guest. Oh, my God. Film director, producer, actor. I mean, he's just an awesome guy. David Wendell Wakens. And he is doing it up, not only in, I think it's Texas, Dallas, Texas, but also he goes back and forth to Hollywood. And his he has a short film. It's called Mama's Song. Very, very good. I mean, it's something that is very unique. It's not really for the faint of heart because it deals with the mother who was on drugs. And at the end, it was pretty sad. But he said he's working on a part 2. So that's going to be good. And also, I think he's working on other things. So there's the hope. I'm hoping to, hey, David, and I call him the Hat Man. Because can't nobody wear the hat like him. But then again, man, you know, I went to the, it was the breast cancer, it was a breast cancer awareness event this past Saturday. And they had the Silver Fox gentlemen who were the models. And I don't know if I showed you. You did. Second to none. Very tasty. They didn't show anything, no chest out or nothing. They just had these really nice suits. And they had hats on it. They look great. David, you might have some competition, but you can hang out with them. I mean, you can be up there too with them. You can. But I think this David's just so cool because his signature is to see the camera and he have his hat on. He's just so cool. David, keep up the good work, yeah. But so I do want to see what else he's doing, and him and other filmmakers that are in Hollywood. I tend to keep in touch with them. They're doing great things, even in the midst of the pandemic. You know, they find a way to make it work. That's a wonderful thing. Y'all know this is August, and kind of like almost the last of August. Next week would have been City's birthday, so this is a kind of sad time for us as well. Of course, this is still summer, and man, it's so hot here. In my car, it said 92 degrees, but it really feels like 100 and some degrees, 102 degrees, something like that. So people, a lot of people are still, on vacation. So what I tell people, I say, well, just drink plenty of fluid. That is, if you don't have a cardiac problem or kidney problem, drink plenty of fluid. Stay out of all this sun. In other words, this month is also summer Sun Safety Month. Okay, so what they're saying is, of course, to stay out of the sun, stay in the shade between like 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Daylight savings time, or that would be even 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. standard time. That's apparently when the sun is the hottest, and that you can also get suntan and also skin damages. So you want to stay out of that as far as that.
Also,
Yeah.
the sun, not only is bad for us, but it's bad for your furniture.
Bad for your furniture.
If you, well, a lot of us have windows and stuff like that, and the sun comes through the window, and it can damage your furniture, the fabric, and everything. So you best to pull your blind down so the sun wouldn't shine on it, because it will cause some serious problem for actual
The furniture.
are concerned.
So see, not only damage us, but the furniture too. Everything, damage a lot. So the sun is good because it has that vitamin D. And we said vitamin D3 is the sunshine vitamin. So we do need that. Also to boost our immune system in these days and times, because we're dealing with the pandemic and this new variant. We do need that our immune system build up by taking in, especially us African Americans, we tend to have a vitamin D deficiency for some reason. But we also, though, remember, it's the strongest, we said, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's daylight savings time. Or if it's standard time, that would be 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So you want to, this is the time when people go to the beach. I see a lot of our family members, it's their birthday, so they're at the beach. They're on the water, as far as in ships, yachts, and different things, in the poolside. It's wonderful. Outdoor activity is wonderful. You just got to take care of yourself by wearing a hat, by also using sunscreen. They have different ones. At one time they said for us to use 15. Now they're saying, well, make it 30. But you want it to help you. But you got to apply it, remember, every 2 hours. It's not like a one-time thing. One is that our guest. Yeah, he's online, yeah. It's not like a one-time thing where you just apply one time and then that's it. So you have to remember to apply it every 2 hours, okay? And the lighter you are, the more you need. So like if you're fair skinned, you may need something like more than 30. You may need like 45. And if fair, you may even need 60 or 90. You might need that,
Guess what? I used to put you as a little baby.
You know what?
I used to put you
Right in the sun.
in the sun, in the window.
Yeah.
In the window, and I would expose you and let the sun shine on you. But I was very careful not to let it burn you.
Because I had diaper rash or something, right?
So that you can get the vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
And it did help. Like I say, everything is good. It just know how to do it.
I think that the sun has changed so much because of the ozone layer, and we have more cars and different things that are affecting it.
Right.
So that now we get more than what we need. Back in the day there, it was okay.
Right.
But they even said even a cloudy day. Because it's a cloudy day does not mean that you can't get sun damage. Even in the winter months, that's what they're telling you. That you can you still have to protect yourself, meaning that you may have to wear the sunscreen, you may have to wear certain things, long sleeve, all that, just so that you won't get a lot of sun because of the ozone layer and the damage that it does to the skin. The A, the B, some of them go a little bit deeper than that. And so you don't want to come out with skin cancer. And also, if you see anything that's abnormal, check your feet as well, your feet and your legs. That's very important. Some people don't check those. But if you see like freckles and different things like that, moles, something that wasn't there, go see your doctor, go see your doctor, go see your doctor. Whether it's a podiatrist or a dermatologist, go see your doctor, okay, for that. What the stats is, I love stats. The CDC mentioned about over 5 million Americans are treated for skin cancer yearly. That's just here in the USA. That's alarming. That's a lot. So do that, all right, people? This month is also, because next week, of course, it's the 1st of September, so I probably won't be able to hit it, quit it, but next, this month is also Children Eye Health Month. It's from the National Eye Institution. So look that up. Also, it's National Breastfeeding Month, U.S. Breastfeeding Committee, those who breastfeed, right? National Immunization Awareness Month, the CDC. Of course, they talk about all kind of things, like the Tdap, the Pneumovax, the measles, mumps, and rubella. And of course, a lot of people, because now this Pfizer now had, theirs is now FDA approved as far as this COVID vaccine. people still, some people choose not to, some people do. Of course, there are stipulations with that. Of course, here in D.C., I know I can only speak for D.C., what they're saying is that you would have to have a test done. I don't know if it's every 3 days or once a week or something like that, just to prove that you're not carrying the COVID when you come in. You still got to wear your mask. You still got to do the social distancing, all that. But if you don't take the vaccination, that is your choice. If you don't take it, you got to be tested. Now, stats-wise, we talked about this before. A lot of times, the ones that have taken it, the ones that are supposed to be, quote, immunized against this, tend to carry the COVID in their nose for some reason. I don't know why that is. There was a stat that was done in one of the states that showed that they had it more than the vaccinated had it more than the unvaccinated. Anyway, I say that everybody needs to be swabbed just to make sure that you're not a carrier, because now, of course, they're saying, of course, they're still doing tests, we're still learning. They're saying also that, we got to do still hand washing. This is the culprit, the hand washing. Lysol spray, you got to use that, right? You got to clean off the surfaces. You got to do what you got to do, because if you take the shot, if that's what you choose to do, you still got to wash your hands, right? So that way, they'll say, okay, you have your card here, but people still come on and they still have it. So in other words, and then the children can't get it right now. So it's not, okay for the children to get it. So the kids, you have to also watch them and teach them, those who are parents, or, teach how to wash their hands properly. Make it fun, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and make it fun for them. With the washing of hands with soap and water for the 20 seconds, can make it fun for them. Make it into a game. That's how you have to do it. You probably have to.
Actually, this is really something else.
Yeah.
This should be our lifestyle.
Lifestyle, anyway.
Number one, we're supposed to be clean people. And this should be a lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
You have to really keep things clean. And not only that, you're doing yourself a favor. Keeping the things clean, it causes the stuff not to break down.
Mm-hmm.
Because our environment it causes things to deteriorate. And so by keeping everything clean, that's important.
Yeah.
Maybe we might not get the virus, but bacteria affect you in so many ways. So wash your hands, eat the proper diet, and we just practice cleanliness.
There you go.
Then above all, pray.
There you go. That's it right there. We always talk about 2 Chronicles 7-14.
Right.
If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, turn, repent.
Right.
It's under condition. If we do this, then the Lord will forgive our sins and will heal our land. That's what he said he would do. He said he would do that.
Right.
We have to be right. We have to stop our foolishness. This is the longest it's ever been. Even before our time in 1918, they had another plague. I call it plague that was out, the Spanish flu. But it went away within a certain period of time.
Right.
This one right here is going on and on and on. So this is different, very extremely different.
Right.
And so, like I said, we know that we're living in the end times. I mean, those who know that, or who are Christians, we all know that. These are the end times. There are going to be plagues, pestilence, all kind of things that we've never seen before. And it's, that it's because of the wickedness in the end times. So we have to be ready, because, the Lord can crack the sky anytime and take his people. All of a sudden, what you're going to do then? It's going to be chaos down here. If the remnant is not here, it's going to be chaos. It just will be. The remnant is what's holding back a lot of things. That's what we believe. We believe that the remnant is holding back a lot of things. It can, and it will be worse. That's what it will be. It really will. So we have a lot to pray about. A lot of things to pray about, and not necessarily seeking man for the answer because of our finite, but we got to seek the wisdom, the infinite wisdom of God. And like you said, the key is prayer, praying. That's the key.
And my topic for the day, about 2 words, is that the Bible says, the Lord said, if we walk upright before him,
condition,
no good thing
No
will
good thing.
he withhold from us. And now we really need to walk upright before the Lord, because we're going to need Him more
than ever.
Because our natural resources is scarce. Everything is going to be scarce. And so we really need to use our common sense and do the right thing.
There you go.
And then we will make it.
There you go. And if it's for you, it's more than the world against you. So in the midst of all that, you can still see His hand. Those who know Him, those who have the relationship with the Lord God Almighty, with Jesus. All right, let's take a commercial break because my guest is online. Yes, break time. Yep.
I never thought that I would make it to this point in my life. Experience has taught me that dry seasons build character and make you stronger. The truth is, some things are intended to break you. But if you're careful and you're prayerful, those same things will motivate you.
Nobody told me the road would be easy, but when I needed, they always leave me lost in the band. Then Jesus came, reached out His hand, He bottled my tears. I don't deserve to be here, but God, you showed me, you made it all clear. Because of Your mercy, I'm not walking in fear. Satan thought he had me, but I am still here. Never really thought that I would make it to this point in my life. You did it for me. For me, you taught me on the cross. And nothing comes without sacrifice. You did it for me, yeah. You did it for me. You did it for me, yeah. Nobody told me the road would be easy, but when I told me the road would be easy, but when I need it, you always leave me lost and abandoned. Then Jesus came and reached down His hand and He bottled my tears. I don't deserve to be here, but God, you showed me, you made it all clear. Because of Your mercy, I'm not walking in fear. Satan thought he had me, but I am still here. Never really thought that I would make it to this point in my life. You did it for me. 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 Yeah. You taught me on the cross. You taught me on the cross that nothing comes without sacrifice. You did it for me. Yeah. You did it for me. You did it for me. You did it for me. Yeah. praise. You did it for me. You did it for me. Hallelujah, Jesus. You did it for me.
I have a friend from Galilee who made an impact on this whole world's history. He's on a mission to save the world from self-destruction. We better listen to the Lord's instructions. He laid down his life on a hill called Calvary just to save the soul of a wretch like me. Rose on the third day for this whole world to see. We're to prepare a place for you and me. Now he's coming back to receive us as his only said where he will be. We can be also.
Oh, what a
freedom we have in Jesus.
Oh, what a friend.
What a freedom we have in him. Yeah. What a freedom we have in Jesus. There's no better freedom. He's always here when I need him most. No matter where I go, the Lord's with me from coast to coast. If I have a problem, never fear, he's here to solve them. Just trust the Lord, have a little faith, lift up my head and call him. Now things without Christ in your life seem okay. You better believe that problem's heading straight your way. All the things seem to be going well. Best believe there is a place called hell. Why not partake of this insurance I have for you today? Ask the Lord for forgiveness, and up on that moment you will be cleansed. As far as the east is from the west, the Lord will remove all your sins.
Oh, what a friend.
What a friend we have in Jesus.
Oh, what a friend.
What a friend we have in him. What a friend we have in Jesus. There's no better friend.
My guest, gospel recording artist, Gary Frazier. And we are back. We are back. I know you enjoyed seeing. I think I showed Choir Boy. He had a new video. Also, my guest Gary Frazier. Part of his song is so awesome. Let me do his bio. It's a little short bio. LA's own singer, producer, songwriter Gary Frazier debuts his highly anticipated 5-track album entitled No Better Friend. And he is talking about Jesus. Yes, he is. This project incorporates smooth and up-tempo beats and rap in a gospel way. He says this album has something for everybody, the young, the old, the in-between. Ladies and gents, here is gospel recording artist Gary A. Frazier. Yay! Hey, Gary.
Hey, how you doing there?
How you doing?
How you out there? Oh, I'm doing good.
Awesome. Listen, Gary, how's the weather in LA? How's the weather there?
Actually, it was nice and hot, and also the sky is sort of hazy because of the fires. Yeah. Even though there's none near here, the smoke seems to be traveling this way a little.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Prayers for you guys, because you know here we've been getting like a lot of rain. I know you guys need it. Take that off. Okay. Let me have that. Let me just have that. I'm just going to turn that off. that was like, ooh, what was that? Okay, I turned it off because that was like, but it's live. But anyway, what I was talking about is we have a lot of rain here, and I know you guys need the rain there. You know what I mean?
We always need rain here.
Yes, please God, that's the prayer for you guys to get the rain, because that's very, very tough, and we don't want it to keep on spreading, because even though yes, rain does a lot of damage, but that fire does a lot of damage. My goodness, yeah. But tell me how it was as far as even growing up with you being a native of California. And your upbringing, you were brought up in a Christian family. How was that? What did you tell me about that in the beginning of, your singing? When did you even know that you even had a voice to sing?
Well, actually, I was allowed to sing. They asked me to sing a song at church. I was in the choir, new to the choir, and I guess they liked my voice, and I got up there and sung the song and messed it up.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't mess it up.
Well, the thing was, they didn't practice with the monitors on, and it was just blasting. My voice was just blasting over everybody, so I sort of thought something's wrong here. Yeah. So I lowered the key. And lower the key in the upper range was to make that song, blast and be, big. But when I lowered the key, I was embarrassed for, I'd say, about a day. The next time I got to sing, I was okay once I figured it out. So,
okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't stop. Because a lot of times people do, get discouraged and different things like that when oops or bloopers happen. But I'm glad that you said, well, that's not going to stop me. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep on going. Because the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but the one that endures until the end. So when you keep going, and, you'd be surprised how you can reach your goals just by keeping on, even though there's blunders, bloopers, and everything. With that being said, what you mentioned, how important then is it even to rehearse, to get it right, so that you will present it a certain way? Talk about that a little bit.
You said
how important is it to rehearse, to get it right before you present it out to the public? Talk about that.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, it takes a while. There's a lot involved. It's one thing, the songs seem to be easy for me to write, but when it comes to going into the studio, you go in, you record. Sometimes the recording, I don't care how well you sing, the recording may not come out right. You have to record several times to make sure that you have it, and have the best cuts. But it's so much more. I just learned going on that, now I have to get background vocals in there, make sure they got theirs right. Find out, make sure that the music is timed right with the singing and everything, and you go into mastering, and then all of a sudden they might tell you to start all over again because this tempo is not going with that tempo. So there is a lot of work involved in putting together music.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Gary, because, back in the day, they used to have the albums or the records, and so it is what it is. That's how they made it, and there was no such thing as, now you can kind of stack them. So you can make it how you want it. They even now have, I think, the mics that can make you, if you're flat, it can kind of pull you up to that note where you need to be if you're too flat or too sharp. So now it's just a big difference though, because you can stack it. Back in the day, it is what it is. It's you had to keep going because it was, they didn't have, there was no stacking. There was no such thing as stacking. Talk about your life. I read where you were in the church choir. What was your role there? Were you just a tenor background singer, or were you able to lead or direct? What did you tell me about that as far as church choir?
Well, the one thing I haven't done is direct.
What?
And in the church choir, just singing. I was singing tenor. Eventually, I was asked to lead some songs in that, and then about, I would say, once or twice a month, I would lead in praise and worship. And then the church disbanded years. I think it was around for 15 years, but eventually I ended up going to another church once the church closed. The pastor moved back to his hometown, basically.
Yeah.
And so then the new church I started, it started all over again. First you have to sing, you know, in the choir. Then they'll move you up to the praise team if you're good enough. And so I had to start that. And I'm still in the praise team there, too.
Okay, that's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then speaking of that, what's the difference to you? What does praise mean to you versus worship? Or do you see them as being synonymous, the same thing? What's your definition of praise and what's your definition of worship?
Well, praise and worship. I mean, you're singing songs of praises to God,
Okay.
and worship. I mean, basically they're all the same, praise and worship. You know, you're worshiping God, but you're also leading the congregation into it. And with the praise team, it's usually 3 people, maybe 6 if you're doubling up the tenor, alto, and soprano, and then 1 lead or so.
Okay.
And and so it's not the big choir thing.
Okay.
Where you can hide your voice either. You're on your own microphone. So there's no room for mistakes.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And you know the saying, of course, we know that when praises go up, blessings come down. And that everybody can praise. Everybody can praise. Now, with worship, of course, they that worship the Lord must worship Him in spirit and in truth. There you go. So, in other words, worshiping means that you have that relationship with Him. If you don't have that relationship, you really can't worship Him because it has to be in spirit and in truth. Created me a right spirit, and that's what David says. So that's wonderful. And how do you even get yourself mentally prepared to even do praise and worship? Like, is it the preparation beforehand? With it being like, say, if your services are on a Sunday or a Saturday, I don't know what, but how important is it to even get the mindset of praise and worship? Because again, trying to set the atmosphere for the speaker of that hour. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think, well, as far as I'm concerned, I need to keep myself always in the mindset of praise and worship. I don't leave the house without getting on my knees first to go jump in my car and stuff. And so throughout the day, you're always thinking, so you always got a reason to praise, and not only that, if you turn to the news, and so much junk going on everywhere, it's like you can't help but try to stay in touch with God.
Come on here. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome, Gary. Awesome. And, since you are a writer and your lyrics, talk a little bit about that, because when did you even know that you can write songs? When did you know that you even had that gift?
I was about 20, I was 24 when I was in business for myself, started my own business, and was working by myself as well.
Okay.
And just, it's silent in the room, I had no radio. And music just started coming. I'm just singing stuff I'd never heard before on the radio. And then I turned I was doing some towel work, turned the towel over and started writing the lyrics down. Because I'm like, this is good stuff. and that's when I started. That's how I started writing music. So after that, I said, well, I got something here. But it was so long ago. It took a long time to get to this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've been writing ever since then. And
can you even? I don't even know if I can answer this. I should ask this, but can you even remember your first song that you wrote? As far as that go, or
I actually have that towel, that floor towel, in a drawer in my office at home.
Wow.
I forgot the name of the song. I never really finished that one.
Okay.
But I still have it written down. I need to put it on a wall maybe or something just to remind me.
Right, yeah.
I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, because and I was going to ask you this also. A lot of times, I was just wondering with your lyrics and how you write. Is it? Do you get your words or your lyrics from everyday living? Like, something could happen like in your neighborhood, or you went somewhere to a grocery store and all of a sudden you'd be like, aha, that's a song there. Or you're just meditating maybe at night sleeping and some words come to you, and then I don't know if you get up at night and just start writing it down and even hear the lyrics to it. How did the lyrics come to you? Or is it different ways?
It's all different ways. I've never gotten the lyrics in my sleep because I'll forget everything I dream or I think about when I wake up.
I know, right?
But, I usually just thoughts, because sometimes things come to my mind. The weirdest thing, I was taking a cat to get fixed. We had a stray cat in the yard. We didn't want him to have babies, and taking him to get fixed. And I'm just thinking, as I'm going back down memory lane, and it started coming to me in rhyme form. So when I got to the vet, I started writing everything down, and that's how I came up with the song Testimony.
Wow.
Just thinking back on my life and all this stuff, and it just came to me all in sequence. So it took me about 1 hour to write 50% of the song. So the rest of it was pretty easy after that. But it just because it was a part of my life.
Yes.
It made it easy for that particular song.
Okay. And so not only are you a singer, then you're kind of like a rapper too. You do it all, which is great.
Yeah, I try to make it for all people.
Yeah.
So I'm not the best rapper because my grandson's a rapper, and I don't know, his name is Ghost. He called himself Ghost Frazier, and he laughed. He said, I think I heard that your secret somewhere, and he was joking about it and stuff. I'm like, okay, leave Grandpa alone.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, with you, having your gift, and a lot of times, you'll see it in your generation, like your son, your grandson, or whoever, and then they can probably get into the studio, make you proud, and they start doing it as well, and even surpassing. That's a very good thing there. I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite scripture? Do you have a scripture that kind of ties in everything that you're doing as far as your gift or your ministry in singing? You have yeah.
My favorite, what again?
Bible scripture.
Wow. I don't know if I have a favorite.
Favorite, okay.
Favorite because it's like all of them are meaningful. And everything you need at some point in life.
Okay.
Yeah, so just make a joyful noise
Come on
to
here.
the Lord.
That's
all
it.
you lands.
Come on, that's it. That's it.
Serving, that's all I can think of.
Okay, that's good, and that's good enough.
In a good spot.
And that's good enough. Tell me about like your siblings and your parents. Are they also singers as well? And are they also pursuing like singing as well as you?
No, and no. My grandmother, though, on my father's side, she used to sing.
Okay.
Yes, she had a beautiful voice. She's gone on now, but that's the only one in my family who sung.
Okay. That's good. That's generational. That's a generational thing. And then, do you play any type of instruments?
Well, by default, I learned how to play the saxophone.
Wow.
As a teenager.
That's good.
By default, because I got in a little trouble at school, and they kicked all my friends out who got in trouble with me in junior high school, and put them all in different schools, and they put me in the band class. So I learned how to play the saxophone, which was a good thing. It kept me out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that sax is awesome. That sax is awesome. I tell you that. My dad actually played the saxophone, clarinet, those type of xylophone, and that's a powerful instrument. He didn't play the trumpet, but he played that sax, and that thing. Oh my God, that's a beautiful. I love it. I love it. What about your inspirations as far as who inspires you as far as the different gospel artists or any other artists? And by the way, I told Pam, I said, you look a lot like, I know you've heard this before, Ray Parker Jr. Y'all can be brothers.
Recently. Yeah.
You know what I mean? you. Just, I mean, y'all look, I said that could be his brother. Yes, indeed. So what artists would you say inspire you? It could be gospel, jazz, or whatever, inspirational. What artists do you kind of look up to say, yeah, I like that? Inspire.
Wow, it's so many. I don't try to follow any of them or anything because I want to make sure that I stay alone and do what I do, and it won't nobody say, man, that sounds like so and so song. So,
yeah.
But I mean, I love the wine and the high tribute. High tribute is one of my best.
Wow. Okay.
Because he just goes out, and does something, comes back with something that nobody has out there that sounds nothing like anybody else.
I know, right? Actually, when he first came to the stage, he has relatives here in the D.C. area. His uncle, quite a few of his uncles and relatives are here in the D.C. area. I think his mom, they were in Philly, and I don't know, ties with someone else now in another state, I guess, doing praise and worship. But I know when he first hit the scene, Kirk Franklin really liked him as far as that go. Like, he was, like you said, brought something totally different. And Kirk even started doing some things like him. A lot of times, you know how we say that we want to be ourselves, and that's very important to be yourself. But a lot of times you do have, not say idols, but people who inspire you. And a lot of times you take a little bit from this person, like you mentioned, the Winans. You may take a little bit from this person, like you mentioned, Ty Tribbett, maybe other artists, and even different genres. And then that makes who you are. Just by hearing, and then you incorporate something that makes you uniquely you. Speaking of that, how important is it to even be uniquely you, having your own signature sound, your own signature way? Talk about that.
I mean, you have to have your own signature sound, or you'll sort of be like everybody else, and they already got enough of those, of everybody else. So, yeah, that's one of the most important things, to be my own person.
Yeah.
When it comes to singing and all, and that's sort of why when I wrote all my songs, and each song has its own feeling to it,
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that nothing sounds the same. Yeah.
And that's good, because when I listen to it, you're right. It's something for everybody. It's some upbeat tempos, a little bit of reggae kind of thing in it. So you hear a little bit of the island sound in it, rap. It's all kind of things, all kind of genres, all mixed in with those 5 songs that you do have there, which is awesome. That's and like you say, it's very important to be yourself. That's your signature. Like when you open your mouth, when they hear your music, they say, "Ah, that's Gary. That's Gary right there." That's a wonderful thing. That's an awesome thing. What is it? Is there any artists that you would desire or dream to even sing with? I know that you gave, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes, but any particular artists that are kind of out there now that are pretty known, I guess, or kind of known, that you ever thought about, like, I would love to do a duet with that person or sing along with that person? Is there any, or no?
I haven't thought about that. I have thought about trying to catch up with Paul Jackson Jr., who plays the guitar, jazz guitarist.
Okay.
And have him link up with me. We went to church together years ago, and so he's a friend of mine. I haven't called him yet, but I've been thinking about making a song that will, that he can play on, because he does all kinds of jazz, and I have this feeling for more like a Hispanic style rhythm, and with the guitar and show off, and maybe I'll put the saxophone into it this time.
That's nice. I love it because your creativity is really coming out. I love it because, like you said, you're giving songs, you're playing them, and you're including everyone. So it's something for everyone. So why not have something that's more Spanish? Have something that maybe is Mexican. I think there's a difference. Something that may be Italian. Something that, like you said, is more jazz with the little runs or whatever, different things. Just bringing the different genres. There's so many different genres, even country. I've heard some African Americans sing country, and they sound great. So that's awesome. That's really awesome. What's your goal or your dream? Where do you see yourself in about maybe 3 to 5 years from now? What's your desires?
It would be nice to be retired.
Everybody.
Retired, and my job would be just making music and going to perform at different churches and genres. That would be nice.
That would be nice, right? And so, are you doing anything to make that dream happen, to come true, or?
I'm trying to.
Okay.
Really trying to, but this is the start of it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then I want to talk about how you gave. This is wonderful. How you gave one of the artists room on the 5. One of them that you featured
Sarita?
yesterday. You featured her because a lot of times people are into like Me, Myself, and I. But it's nice that you did the lyrics and everything. You said, maybe she'll fit the bill. Talk about that. What led up to this song, and why did you pick that particular artist to sing your lyrics?
Well, Sarita has a beautiful voice, and I had no idea that she was going to. She basically made the song her own.
Wow.
So the song I wrote was not really for me. It was for 3 people. A young person, a teenage person, and an adult. And it was hard to find 3 people who could sing it. So when I talked to her, she said, "Oh, I can do it." And so I sung the song and sent it to her.
Okay.
And the way I thought it should go. And then she made it her own and sent it back to me, and it was way more than I expected it to be.
Wow, that's awesome.
She used the same music I had, but when she just took it over the top. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome because a lot of times you can have envision or sing a song, and then that person who you pick, they kind of take it to another level, and you're pleased with it. The bottom line is you're pleased with the outcome of that. That's an awesome thing. Are you working on anything else? Because I know you have these 5 songs, and I know you're going to take the other song, that first song that you mentioned about. You'll take that out and finish that off. Are you working on anything else in regards to, because this is just the 5 songs, which is awesome. Are you working on other songs now?
Right now, I'm just starting to work on songs again. So I've been hustling, trying to get this out most of the time. So trying to get the album out. So I'm just about done with that and ready to get down and start writing again and recording. I have a little studio in my office.
Oh, you do? Okay.
So yeah, makes it easier than instead of having to go to the studios and pay for services and stuff. So I bought some of my own equipment and just make it easy. And then when we go into the studio, when we have a group of people, then we need a studio. But
Yeah.
my office is not that big for that.
Yeah, because people are making certain places in their homes into a studio, especially they know how to put up the little boards and everything so that the sound, or they won't have an echo in there. So that's a wonderful thing. How are you even doing during this pandemic? What's going on? How are you doing? How are you coping with this?
Doing pretty good. Actually, I was working on a construction job, and when the pandemic started, and the mayor started talking about shutting everything down, the homeowner said, "Okay, I think we should take a break." And then after, I think, about 3 weeks, she called me and said, "You guys ready to come back to work?"
Okay.
she wanted her work footage. So we've been, ever since then, we've been working. After that, I've gotten several other projects. So
That's good.
we've been working right through the pandemic, other than 1 month, and we actually extended it because we enjoyed the break.
Okay.
So we told her we'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Okay. That's an awesome thing, though. People, because a lot of people, even here in the DMV area, a lot of people have lost their jobs and they're at home, or they may say, it was at the phase 1 for so long, and then a lot of people just almost kind of lost hope in a sense that they didn't really want to even return to their life before then. I see a few quotes or a few things that you said the same. It is not where you start, but how high you aim that matters for success. I think you got that from Nelson Mandela. Kind of talk about that a little bit. That's an awesome saying right there.
I mean, it's just, I mean, it says it all, you know.
Yeah.
If you really want to get somewhere, you've got to reach out, climb, shoot for the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, like when I started writing music, I knew I had to reach out to some people. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I started reaching out. I started listening more. I started collaborating with people who knew and been there and are doing it and stuff like that. And
That's awesome.
that's just the way to go.
Yeah, and that's
So know your dreams.
there you go. And I thank you for that. I thank you for that, Gary, because I think that's also going to help the up and coming generation as far as that go to reach your goals. Don't stop. Aim for it, and don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask, because all they can say is yes or no. But if you don't ask, yeah. And also, I think you mentioned about your your testimony. Did your song, or I should say your rap song? I wanted to kind of, because that time just go, but you had a testimony in your song, and it sounds like with that rap beat and everything, it talked about your life. You grew up then in Compton? Is that where you grew up?
Yes.
Okay. And did anyone give you any positive feedback for this testimony? Because I'm sure it hit a lot of people who had experienced what you had experienced through your testimony.
Oh yeah. Especially I got a lot of Facebook friends who live in Compton. So when they heard that, they were like, it just made them think about back in the day and stuff. Going through, it's a rough town. Actually, now I think it's a lot better. I don't live out there now. I stay in the San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles. But my family, my brother stays near too. One of my brothers still live in Compton. I have a cousin out there and another brother in Carson. So I frequent the area still every now and then. But it's not like it used to be when I was growing up, which is a good thing.
It's a good thing, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. But, people learn from that as well, because, that life, I don't know if they still have the Bloods and the Crips still there, from way back. I know they had all that. But I don't know if it's better now in Compton. I'm not too sure. I don't know. You would probably know that more than I would. So now, what's next for you? What's next? Because what's next? And also, we need you to give also information. How can we support you and your ministry as far as your songs and different things go? What's next? And also, how can we support you as well?
What's next? Well, what's next as far as writing new music? That's what I'm trying to do now. It probably take me, I would say it probably take me about a good 3 to 6 months, more like 6 months or more, to finally get the music completed. And that's what's next, trying to throw down some new tracks and stuff and come up with something no one else has come up with. The gospel of Jesus Christ is the gospel of Jesus Christ, and you can say it in many ways over and over. And so every musician and singer has their own way of putting it out there, and everyone else has ears to listen to what they like.
Yes.
And so I want to make what they like, that's all, but also give them the message they need. As far as what I need is if everybody could just buy the music. I can keep it flowing. I didn't realize it cost so much to make music until
it does.
So I got through doing the mastering and everything and realized I'm going broke here. But the Lord just said keep going and keep putting it out and keep on moving. And I hope to do visit some churches, do some concert stuff in the future once things start to really rolling.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because as this pandemic hopefully dies down, we'll be able to really get out there. And then, can we get it on Amazon? Where can we actually purchase the music then?
You can actually it's on Amazon, Deezer, Spotify. on a lot of different music programs. I don't even have I have a list of them somewhere. I wish I had them here.
Is it under
you
your name?
Actually, Google Gary A. Frazier, No Better Friend,
Okay.
and just Google it, and you can look it up there. There's one problem with it because I put the single out first called No Better Friend. That's what's going to show up first.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll past the single till you see the album with the 5 songs. So that
Okay.
way you get the whole package there.
Okay. Fair enough. That's good. That's good. And how do we keep in touch with you via social media? I know there's, they have Twitter, they have LinkedIn, they have all kind of things. How can we get in touch with you or add you as a friend through social media?
Wow. I do some social media. I have Facebook. I do have Instagram.
Instagram.
And those are about the only two I'm on. I forgot there's a business app that I'm on, but I'm usually not on there that much. I just do that for my construction business.
Okay.
But Instagram and Facebook is what I'm on most of the time. And mostly it's Facebook if I'm going to be out there advertising something. Because every time I try to advertise on Instagram, it's a little difficult for me. My wife knows how to do all that.
Yeah.
I'm going to hand it to her.
Okay. And are you under Gary A. Frazier then on IG, or what are you under?
On what, Instagram?
Yeah.
Yes. Gary Anthony Frazier and Gary A. Frazier.
Okay. You want to give, that time just goes, I tell you, awesome. Thank you so much for the information. You did a fantastic job, and hopefully Pam will give you even more interviews. I mean, keep doing what you're doing. Did you want to give some shout outs to anyone out there?
Wow. I just want to give a shout out to everybody who loves my music. Everybody out there who's listening to it and sharing it. And thank you guys.
That's it, right? Okay. I want to thank you so much for being on my platform as my special guest. What an honor. I really appreciate it. And yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You're going in the right direction. Pull out that first one that you said is sitting there and, complete it,
That's what I'm going to do. I have a whole drawer of them.
Oh my goodness, Sil, you got a lot of work to do, especially in this pandemic. If you have to do something, there you go. A lot of times people are at home. They don't have to be an idol. They could just, do what they got to do. And if you have some good music out there, people do want to hear new music. There's a platform, I believe, for everybody. And I appreciated that you, Gary, look out for everybody, because you want to hit the young as well as the old, as well as all in between, and maybe even other races, everything. So that's a wonderful thing, to not be selfish and say it's not about just us, but let's reach out to other races, other different things like that. That's an awesome thing right there. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. And I'm going to try to find you on IG. Later on today, I'll try to find you and follow you on there, because I saw some Gary Fraziers, but I thought it was quite a few Gary Fraziers. But if yours is like Gary A. Frazier, then okay, I'll find you on there.
Yeah, my son is out there. He has a business, and every time I type my name in, sometimes they want to erase the name and put a D there. That's why I made sure. If I just put Gary Frazier, all of a sudden my son's picture shows up.
Oh, okay.
I
don't know what he looks like, but maybe I saw him, and that was your page. But he's the younger.
Make sure it's Gary A. Frazier.
Okay.
Yep.
And
Anthony Frazier.
The younger generation is so brilliant because they really are computer literate. And you'd be surprised how your son can really help you get where you need to be. I'm telling you, these young people are something else. Because Renee Montgomery, I'm not that computer literate, but I kind of learn as I go. And I don't mind asking questions. How do I do this? I'm not ashamed. How do I do this? Because there has to be a method to all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So take care, all right?
Okay, thank you. And thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Have a good one. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
That was wonderful. This light, look, I'm doing like this. And the light still didn't come on. You know what? Okay, you don't read mine, right? Okay, but anyway, I can still see though. Thank God for these lights. You know what I mean? That you can still see me. But that light, even though, because it said it's like it'll move if you move around. Well, I'm doing all this and it still haven't done it. So it has to be a problem with that blooming light. All right, so it is what it is. Thank God for these lights. To God be the glory. Always a ram in a bush. Yes, sir. Okay, so anyway, listen. Let me say my goodbyes because that time just going. I don't want them to cut me off. He was excellent. He was awesome. You know what I mean? He's just a wonderful person. And kudos to him. I mean, he really does look at that Ray Parker Jr., though. That could be his brother.
Of course, he's down to earth.
He's down to earth.
Just, a nice guy.
He's a very nice guy. And so, kudos to him. You know what I mean? Keep doing what you're doing. You'd be surprised how how your music will affect others. Like a lot of our music may not be for everybody, but something in it will be for somebody, which is an awesome thing. Let me say my goodbyes because that time just goes. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Listen, it's going to also be on WBGR On Demand, Roku, and also Amazon Fire Stick, as well as All Nations TV Network on the Roku TV stations worldwide. Starting with All Nations, it'll be Sundays at set hours. It'll be like 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Monday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let me say my goodbyes. Okay, please people repost, share the show so that people can see it. All right. To the Nigerians, Odabo. To the Spanish, adios. To the French, au revoir. To the Indians, Palosta. Koreans, Nikaseyo. Pakistan, Alahafaz. To the Vietnamese and Ethiopians, those who speak that language, ciao. Italians, arrivederci. Russians, das vidanya, and all the English people. Bye. See y'all later. Repost, share my show. Next time, all right? See you next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care. Bye.
Let's talk about the positive life. The positive life.